Hello and welcome to what will probably be my last video of the year. I am sitting in my bedroom on the end of my bed because the light in the rest of my apartment is not so great. So yeah, it's been a busy fall. I haven't really been working on any sewing projects because my sewing machine broke again. And with timing of trips and friends visiting and things like that, I just haven't gotten around to taking it to get serviced. So sewing projects have been on the back burner, but I have been crocheting, I have been painting, and I thought with this video I would do a bit of a review of this yarn that I've used for my last two projects, and kind of talk you through the projects, the yarn, my thoughts on it, and yeah, keeping it casual. My hair's drying. So let's get into it. Okay, so the yarn in question is Sirdar Girlfriend. And if you are someone who haunts yarn.com or webs and love crafts, the Love Crafts website like I do, you've probably seen this around. Actually, I don't think they have it on Love Crafts, but at any rate, it has been on sale. It's usually, so this is what it looks like. This is gonna be a very dark video because all the yarn is black and I'm wearing black. But let's see if we can get this to focus. So this is what it looks like. This is about half a ball. Let's see. And as you can see, it's pretty irregular. It's pretty fuzzy. And I purchased, I want to say like 10 balls of this because I first and foremost wanted to make a black scarf. And so I went on a trip to London this fall and I wanted to bring a black scarf with me. I have a couple of black scarves, but they weren't like the kind of like chunky, like knit look scarf that I wanted. So I decided that was gonna be my task for pre-trip, what I was gonna make for myself to bring with me. And I had seen Sirdar Girlfriend on the internet, never really saw anyone using it in any YouTube videos. And I decided that because it looks nice and fuzzy and I wanted to do kind of like a chunky but like mesh look. You'll see what I mean in a second when I show you the scarf. I thought it would work really well. I also have been really interested in using mohair and I've never used it before. It's super fine and I didn't really want to dive into mohair for this particular project. So have yet to use mohair, but I thought that because this has kind of that fuzzy look to it, it might sort of give like a similar effect. Before I get into the scarf, I'll just get into the particulars of the yarn. So Sirdar Girlfriend on the webs yarn.com usually retails for $8.65 USD per ball, and the balls are 50 grams or 109 yards. It's considered a bulky weight, and it's 48% acrylic, 34% wool, and 18% nylon. So it has a little bit of stretch. The color that I got is number 250 Little Black Dress. So it's literally their version of black. Webs currently has 3 colors available. One is an orange and one is like a heather gray. And on the Sirdar website, they are also selling this in 50 gram balls, and they have the same gray and orange that Webb's has, but they also have a like pine green, like a creamy color, a dark blue, and like a light blue available. So on the Sirdar website, you can also order it for $8.65 USD per ball. Sirdar currently has these balls on sale for $4.99 USD, and that's the price I bought them at. So I bought 10 balls because I wasn't sure how much yarn I was gonna need for my scarf. And then I was also thinking I would make maybe like a sweater or something like that out of it. And I did. So first of all, let's get into the scarf. This is the scarf, and I wanted to make, like I said, a really large, like chunky black scarf. And I think this yarn was perfect for what I wanted to do, because this is 4 balls of yarn, and it stretches because of the nylon. So with the weight of the scarf, it kind of makes itself longer, and it's nice and wide when you pull it apart, but then it kind of like shrinks down so you can like tie it and things like that. So mostly how I was wearing it was, and is how I have continued to wear it. I wrap it around once, and then I tie it like this, and it's perfect. Please excuse the interruption. My memory card was full. Okay, so where were we? I'm gonna try to show it as much as I can. Also, one thing to note about this fabric, or this yarn, is that it does attract and keep fuzz and animal hair. So I didn't really even try to get rid of any of the fuzz that's on here, because my life is just fuzz, basically. And there was no point. So this is what the wattle stitch looks like. I'm trying to look through it to make sure you can kind of see what it looks like. And it looks like this because I used a really large crochet hook. So they call for, let's see. Can you hear that? Bubba, what's up? What's up, Bubba? So they call for a J hook, which I think is 6 millimeters, to be used with this yarn, but I used a 10 millimeter N hook. This is the one I used, because I wanted to make kind of like this mesh look. And it actually worked out so perfectly. So this stitch, you're supposed to start it, you're supposed to chain in multiples of 3. So I did 30 stitches across, 30 chains. And then if you look on, I think the video that I used on YouTube to follow the stitch was from, I'm not gonna be able to remember it. Let me look. Okay. Backtracking once again. So the stitch I used for this scarf is called a moss stitch. And this is probably something that many people have heard of. It's very simple, and it's basically a repeat of a single crochet, chain 1, and a double crochet, all in the same chain space. And then you repeat, you skip 1 chain, and then you repeat all that in the next chain. And like I said, this calls for, they call for a 6 millimeter hook, but I wanted this to be like chunky, but also like lightweight. And this fabric is perfect for that. I keep saying fabric. This yarn is perfect for that because it is really light it has some stretch to it, and it has wool in it, so it's nice and warm, but it's not too warm. The nylon and the acrylic kind of keep you from overheating. So yeah, I was really pleased with how this turned out, and this was great to have with me while traveling because I would get really warm while walking around London, and then I wouldn't feel like, if I had to take the scarf off, I wouldn't feel like I was carrying something super heavy. I could just like stick it in my tote bag and it wasn't like too bulky or too heavy. So yeah, really pleased with how this turned out. And I've been wearing it ever since. Yeah, so, oh, and what I wanted to say before was the moss stitch. I used a video from Daisy Farm Crafts on YouTube. The video is literally called Crochet Moss Stitch. And I'm sure if you search crochet moss stitch, this is one of the first videos that comes up. And yeah, it's a great tutorial. Highly recommend. It was very easy to follow. And the other thing about this yarn is that it's like, since you work into the chain space of the previous row to kind of make this like V sort of stitch. Let me see if you can see that. It's very forgiving. So the irregularity of the yarn, you don't have to be like super precise with it because it kind of hides imperfections. And this isn't really something, I'm not sure this is something I've really talked about on my channel. But I kind of hate when things need to be like super precise. I mean, I like precision and attention to detail, but sometimes when I'm doing a craft or an art project or like something creative for myself, I don't want to feel like I have to follow like really stressful and specific rules. So that's why I make up a lot of my own stuff, because I don't love following patterns and I sometimes find them confusing or unnecessarily complicated or, you know, any of that. So I found it really easy to just kind of like stitch along and like not really be worried about this looking perfect, because it's just kind of like very simple. And it's just supposed to be chunky and fuzzy and get the job done. So yeah, very pleased with this. The second project I did with this yarn was, so it started out as, like I said before, I've been wanting to work with mohair, and I saw Retro Claude on YouTube make the Ghost Whisperer sweater from Park Williams, which you can find the pattern for on Ravelry, but it's a knit pattern, and I don't knit. I mean, I do a little bit of knitting, but like a very little bit. Like, I understand the basics, but like I don't get a lot of joy out of knitting yet, or at least currently. I wanted to crochet the sweater, so I purchased the pattern and wanted to kind of like read the pattern but do crochet instead, and kind of like make it like a simple crochet sweater. And instead of using mohair, I wanted to use this yarn. So what I ended up doing was creating like the first rounds of like the bottom of the sweater, and it was huge. Like it was gonna be like this big on me. And it needed to be like more like closely fitted. And so what I I kind of like abandoned it before I went to London, and then the other night I was like, let me take a look at this again. And I started going around and like, I was ignoring all the stitches and everything. I was just kind of like making up my own thing, and I had actually put the pattern aside and was like just kind of gonna like make the body however I wanted. So I was doing just half double crochets, US terms. I was doing just half double crochets and kind of like, I was doing like half double crochets and kind of like a mesh construction. And I realized that the body, or like the band that I had created, was so big that I could maybe gather it and turn it into like a peplum. So I ended up making this sweater that is not the Ghost Whisperer, but I really love how it turned out. So this is it, and it's gonna be, again, like so hard to see. Let me see if I can actually stand up and hold it up, get it in here. So, oh my God, it's just black. Everything is black. So this is what it looks like. I'll hold it up to myself, again, covered in fuzz. But it has like this little, the bottom has this like, look at that, just fuzz everywhere. I gave it kind of like a peplum situation. I kind of gathered it. I did like an invisible gather, which I literally just used like principles from Amigurumi, where you just kind of like make the row smaller by going into 2 holes and then coming back out, and just like basically crocheting into 2 at the same time, 2 stitches at the same time all the way across. So I halved it and then just did the body up, and this was in the round also. So I had connected the bottom pieces and then gathered them where you see like here, all the way around. And then I just kind of kept crocheting up in half double crochets until I reached a point where I thought I might want to do an armhole. And I wasn't sure how I was going to do, I wanted it to be a crew neck. And I've never done something like that before, because the only sweater I've ever made was that cardigan that I did, which I'm pretty sure almost everyone who follows me on YouTube now has come to my channel because of that cardigan video. So thank you so much if you're here because of that. But I had never done something like a neck hole or like a crew neck or sleeves or anything like that. So what I ended up doing was, once I got to where I wanted, where I thought might be, I literally just kept like holding it up to myself, like, does this look good? And when I got to a point where I thought I could probably start doing armholes, I held the sweater up and just like divided it and put a stitch marker where the armpits would be. And then just crocheted up the front, back and forth up the front. And then when I got to where I thought I might want the neck hole to be, I counted all the way across. And again, I had, let's see, I think I had maybe 24 stitches across. Don't quote me on that. But I counted 10 in and then marked in 10 each, so that there would be like a space where the armhole began, or where the crew neck began. And then I just stitched up the side, or not stitched up, I just crocheted a panel along each side separately. Again, until I thought, you know, it would make a nice look for like a crew neck opening. And then when that was finished, I turned it around and I just crocheted, again, half double crochets all the way up the back. And I literally just did a flat panel all the way up the back and then joined the two little side panels on the front. So you can see that this is where the crew neck opening is, and then I did like this panel up and this panel up, and then I just like stitched these together with a tapestry needle. So once that was done, I tried it on and it was perfect, which was great, but I wanted it to have a little more of a finished look. So again, because this is such a kind of irregular yarn, I didn't want to do anything that was going to be too precise, like doing kind of like a ribbed collar or something like that, because the nature of the yarn is just, it's like a little too difficult to do something that precise, especially if you're using like really big needles. The other thing is, for this particular sweater, I used an even larger crochet hook. So this one is, this is an 11.5 millimeter. So even bigger than the 10. Again, did that because I didn't want the sweater to be super dense. I wanted you to be able to kind of like see through it. So yeah, so what I ended up doing for the armholes and the collar is I literally just like started at the back and I just single crocheted like 3 rounds around the collar area, and I did the same thing on the armholes. I started at the bottom of the armhole and just went up and around 3 times and then finished off down there as well. And yeah, so this is it. Again, sorry for the lighting. I'm gonna take some photos and some more footage so that you can see it in better lighting. But yeah, I'm like so happy with it, and I'm gonna wear it to dinner and to work this coming week. So yeah, this is my second real sweater that I'm actually gonna wear out. So I'm very excited. Yeah, so I guess that's it. I don't really have anything else to say about Sirdar Girlfriend, except that I think I definitely would like to use it again. I'd like to try some of the other colors, especially the gray. And I think, let's see. It's funny to have this year be coming to an end, because it's been pretty much a year that I've been on YouTube. And so far, I'm really enjoying it. I hope you guys are enjoying my videos. I know that my uploads are a little all over the place, and I have a lot of different interests, so this channel is itself just a little all over the place, but yeah, I'm really happy with how it's going, and I have a lot of ideas for the coming year, and I hope you guys stick around to see what they are. So yeah, thank you all for watching my videos. I really do appreciate it. All of your likes and comments and subscriptions help so much. And I think I'm right about at 350 subscribers, so that's really big for me. Yeah, if you guys have any ideas for me, reviews you want to see, projects you want to see, just content in general, If you want to hear less of me talking, if you want to see more cats, let me know. Please leave a comment. And yeah, like I said, I will put in a video of me wearing this somewhere. And I'll see you in 2023. Thanks, guys. Bye. Okay, it's the next day and I've turned on all the lights in my room and I'm clearly wearing pajamas. But I had a chance to wear this out for the first time last night, which was the day that I finished making the sweater. And I thought I'd show it to you so you can see what it looks like. This is pretty much exactly how I wore it. I mean, I obviously wore real pants. I wore black jeans, a black t-shirt, and then the sweater on top of the t-shirt. And yeah, I think it worked out really well. It was really comfortable. It was kind of a mild day, so kind of like in the 50s Fahrenheit in New York. And I just wore like a puffer jacket over it, and yeah. So let me just get a little closer so you can kind of see what it looks like. This is like the little peplum. See if you can see the hem. And basically the same on the back. And yeah.